What is up, everybody? I hope you all had a fantastic Monday. We are back this evening for our Southwest Florida weekly real estate market updates. Wanted to hop on here real quick and make sure I gave this to you guys. I know it's a little bit later than normal, but wanted to make sure that we got it out. Today, we had an absolutely beautiful day out today. Right now, it's 61. The high was like 72 or something like that. Beautiful all day, slightly overcast for a little bit, and then it started to clear up. The rest of the week is looking like it's going to be absolutely phenomenal. Yeah, as you guys can see, partly cloudy, and then clear, 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 clear. And we're basically into that really, really nice winter cool weather here. We're going to probably start to be seeing like 80 is going to be your high on a daily basis. And you know, tonight's definitely a cold one. It's supposed to get down to, let's see here, I believe in the 40s overnight. Yes, 46, 43, something like that. So definitely on the colder side. But as you guys can see, we warm up during the day. Those of y'all that are from up north, it's not going to stay in the 30s all day or anything like that. And, you know, maybe we get a day or two that's cold. That's like really, really cold. This to us is considered cold. I'm sure, you know, tonight and tomorrow, everyone's going to be all, you know, bundled up. But I'm sure those of y'all up north would be loving this right now. Let's move on to the mortgage rates. So we've been watching these for the last couple weeks here. We have been in a pretty good downward trajectory, but we've been watching that channel to make sure that we continue to be in that range. The last couple weeks, we've seen a slight increase. Technically, I don't know. I'll have to look and see. I haven't heard anything about any recent drops at the Fed. That was done a couple weeks ago. They had pre-priced everything in, and now rates have kind of seemed to settle out. Like I said, definitely trending down, but we haven't gotten anything super substantial this week. As we discuss every single week, these rates follow this US 10-year chart. So this is TradingView. This is basically just the charting software. This is the 10-year government bond. So this is basically a treasury bond. If you wanted to invest your money with the government, you can invest your money directly with the United States government, make 4.12% as of today. As that goes down, people are basically thinking, hey, the government is a safe investment. I'm cool with investing and getting less interest because I know that I'm going to get my money back. As people see a little bit more risk, these rates go up. The mortgage rates are relative based off of these in terms of if the bank can go and make 4.12% with government bonds, why would they take a risk and lend you money for anything less than that? So that's essentially how they're making their spread, is they're able to take loans from here at this percentage, give the money back out to us at a higher percentage, and then they make that spread in the middle. That's how they weigh their risks, weigh their benefits, and that's how they actually trade and make money. So we want to continue to see this going down. If you guys are wanting to see mortgage rates go down, if you guys want mortgage rates to go up, you want to see a reversal. I don't know why anybody would want that. But, you know, like I said, we're hoping that see this go down. We don't want to see it go super, super crazy like it was, 0% or, 1% or anything. Then we will definitely, start to see some inflation. Probably too many people enter the markets. Things start to get a little crazy there. But as of now, we want to start to see, at least in my opinion, a nice little healthy trend down there. Now let's move on to the actual market stats. So this is really interesting this week. It's almost like a tale of two markets. So as I have been mentioning the last couple weeks to you guys, we've been really paying attention to the... Sorry, let me make myself a little bit smaller. Nope, don't want to do that. We've been paying attention to the closed sales because it's been really, really interesting. The closed sales haven't actually corresponded with the pending sales up to this point. So it's been interesting to think about whether people are just entering contracts that aren't actually closing, or whether those contracts were actually going to start closing. This week we did see a decline in sold properties. The pending properties are still relatively high, but we did see median sales price go up again as well. So it almost seems like we're having a tale of two markets right now. There's a luxury high-end market, snowbirds coming down, people buying second houses, luxury properties, pool homes, golf access houses, that kind of thing. And then we're also seeing the more regular markets still have affordability challenges. People are still, not able to close on all the deals that they're entering into. So as we start to see these stats a little bit, we'll go ahead and show that to you guys. Closed sales. So as I had just mentioned, as you guys can see here, we actually did see a pretty substantial drop here in the closed sales, down to 140 from last week, 233. So we've been kind of watching that range for the last couple weeks to see if we were going to continue in the range, get a drop, or get an increase. Obviously, if you're a seller, you want to continue to see these closed sales go up. That's going to mean there's more buyers in the market. Your home's going to be worth more. If you're a buyer, you want to see the opposite. You want to see less competition. As I will show you guys on the pendings in a minute, we have been seeing pending sales relatively decent, and the last couple weeks they were actually trending up. So this is definitely interesting to see. It definitely seems like the market conditions right now, whether buyers are a little bit weary, they're making sure that they're checking all their boxes during inspection periods, or maybe there's a lot of fake buyers out in the market right now, investors, wholesalers just looking for flips, good deals. The numbers aren't panning out, they're bailing on deals. So there's definitely a lot of things that could be going on right now, but this is definitely slightly concerning to me, seeing this start to drop. As we can see, last year right around this time we did get a drop as well, and then it's kind of slow up until Christmas. So I mean, we're going to continue to watch it, but it definitely something to watch. Usually our season is going to be right after Christmas through Easter, but people are definitely here this year, so this is definitely something that we want to pay attention to. Percent of listing price received. This is what percentage of list price people are going to receive. That is currently at 95.9% this week. So it went up a good bit from last week. Last week we definitely had a pretty stagnant market. We had the list price go down, we had the solds go down, we had the median sales price go down. Pretty much everything had went down. This week we are seeing the percent of list price received go back up, so that shows that where people are listed at, they are a little bit more relative with where they need to be. Percent of original price received, this is going to be the percentage of the original listing price that people get. This is going up as well, 91.8%. I'm getting my 9s and my 8s mixed up. 91.8%, but as you guys can see here, that going up shows the sellers are starting to price better from the beginning. The original price is the original price that they listed their house at. So if that's $300,000, maybe they had dropped it $10,000 to $290,000. The original price would be that $300,000, and listing price would be that $290,000. Cash sales, this is definitely going to be one that we want to check out, especially in this current season of the market. 42.9%, that seems to be pretty relative with what we're seeing in some of the other stats. Like I said, that higher end snowbird market, second houses, a lot of these people are retirees, they have cash saved up. Maybe they bought, maybe they sold their house up north, wherever they're coming from, that, they've lived in for 20, 30 years is paid off. They're able to take that cash and purchase down here. So we're definitely seeing a higher percentage of cash sales taking place. And like I mentioned, it's almost like a tale of two markets right now. We've been seeing a little bit of that struggle still with regular houses. There's tons of just, regular inventory on the markets. But these, more luxury houses, we're still seeing cash sales, strong numbers, all that kind of thing. Days on market close. Let's check this out just real quick. 63, so that's the average number of days that it takes for something to go all the way from listed to closed. So that's probably about an average of 30 to 45 days actually on the market, and then a 15 to 30 day closing time. Days in escrow, this is 31, so yeah, it's probably about 30 days average on market and about 30 days average to close a contract. List to close days, it's probably right around, it's actually 95. So 95 is the complete time that it's been taking people to list, get an offer, go through escrow, and close. So I was wrong that days on market is just the actual days on market, not days on market and escrow. Median original listing price, that's actually going up. So it does show that either people are starting to list more luxury houses, or, I think that's probably what's going on, because that listing price is still relatively good, or the listing percent received is still relatively good. New listings, 492. So we've definitely been watching this the last couple weeks as well. So as you guys can see from January, a lot of those phantom listings went away. We start to see those drop off throughout the year. The last couple months, it was relatively slow in terms of new listings. However, now we're starting to get a spike up. Multiple different factors could be at play here. Some of these people that took their home off the market in January could be coming back on the markets. Also, just it being in season right now, more sellers are entering the market. They know there's more buyers in the market, so there's just more inventory of people wanting to sell. This, though, is definitely something to watch. We're going to check out the pending sales in a minute, but the fact that the new listings is rising and the sold properties is decreasing definitely shows, at least to me, that we're still in some sort of a buyer's market. The new pending sales, this is increasing though, but as we've seen over the last couple weeks, this has been holding steady and increasing. So this has been very, very, very interesting in my opinion, because the pending sales are increasing, but then when we go back to the closed sales, they're not closing. So people are entering contracts, but they're not closing. So whether this is, maybe people who they are buying a second house and they have to put a contingency to sell their first house to buy the second house, or maybe, like I said earlier, just, wholesalers, investors, houses not closing. But that's definitely a little bit concerning to me, the fact that the new listings are rising, the sold properties are decreasing, but it looks like the sold properties should be increasing based off of these pending sales that we're receiving, but we just haven't seen it yet. So definitely something we're going to want to keep an eye out for the next couple weeks. Total active inventory is creeping up as well. Again, just with more new listings, less actual sold properties. Supply of inventory, this probably, so it went up. So we're at about 50 weeks of inventory right now. So that's basically the number of weeks that it would take to sell through all of the inventory at the current sales rate. So this is not very good at all. But as you guys can see, last couple years, we definitely do get a spike right from this period till January 1st. And then we're going to start to see that real season kick off. But it definitely seems like, we could be spiking a little bit sooner this week than last year. So we'll definitely want to keep an eye out on that. Absorption rates, this is basically what we're looking at now, just flipped. So the percentage of a chance that your house has to sell, only 2%. So if you're a seller right now, you need to make sure that you're priced right, presented well, and promoted everywhere. Otherwise, you're going to just, be one of the houses that's sitting. Pending inventory, again, this total pending inventory is showing it's increasing. So we either got to keep, see some sales take place in the next couple weeks, or start to see some of these pendings drop off if people aren't closing contracts. Whatever's going on, there's definitely something a little bit weird going on right now. And mortgage rates, we already went over those. But if you guys have any questions about any of these stats, what it means for you in your specific scenario, like I said, it seems like to me at least we're having kind of a tale of two markets. So if you've got a luxury home you're trying to sell, definitely have a little bit more leeway to price a little bit high, but you definitely want to make sure that you're still presented well, promoted well. Maybe not price high, but you can still maximize value, let's call it that, because that seems to be where buyers are focusing in this market, is that higher end luxury market. If you're selling more of a regular house, you're definitely going to need to be priced aggressively, promoted well, and presented well. You're going to have to hit all three of those P's. And if you're a buyer right now, now is definitely a good time to potentially enter the market. We've got mortgage rates dropping, we've got new inventory rising, and we've got potentially a lot of sales not closing. So some pending inventory could be re-hitting the markets as well. So definitely, like I said, a good time to go ahead and get your pre-approval, start to see what some things could look like. Sellers are still negotiable right now as well. So if you guys have any questions about this, what this means for you, your specific scenario, any of the links down in the description below. Check your property value, browse homes for sale. First link down in the pinned comment below to schedule directly with me on my calendar. Thank you guys all so much for watching, and I will see you all in